So everyone, this video is about the sentence box, and we introduce this to the children once we see their readiness level in terms of knowing a few sight words and they being able to read simple three-letter words. Usually when we think of children reading sentences, we think of them reading sentences in a book. But this is the interesting bit here, that when they use a sentence box, they literally use their hands to take the letter, each letter, one by one, and then they form a sentence. So it is very, very tactile and very stimulating for their hands, for their brain, very good for their focus as well. And it makes this activity of sentence writing or sentence reading, for that matter, extremely interesting, which otherwise may not be so interesting for most of the children. So I would like to show you what this sentence box actually has. So the sentence box has all the letters of the alphabet, and in fact it also has a few punctuation marks, if you see. So it has the bracket, period, hyphen, the colon, semicolon, inverted commas, question mark, comma, and so on. So this is also a great way to introduce children to grammar in a subtle way. And again, the amazing thing here is that children right from preschool till even grade 3 and grade 2 can use the sentence box and move on to different complexities of sentences. So I'll just show you one example of how we actually introduce sentence reading or building to a child who has never read a sentence before. So what we do is, so here we have the sentence box and we have put all the capital letters here. This is the whole alphabet here, and I will take one of these files, and we open these and we find a few words here. Alright, so we tell the child that a sentence is something that always begins with a capital letter. So we will look for the word which has a capital letter, and it ends with a full stop. So we have the beginning of the sentence and we have the end of the sentence. Now let's see what comes in the middle. So let's put some words and see what happens, and let's read it. So the red mat is, does it make sense? And okay, the child will say no. So let's move the words and let's say the is mat red, but still doesn't make sense. Okay, we rearrange it and we say the mat is red. Does it make sense? And the child says yes. So then we tell the child that so a sentence is something that begins with a capital letter, ends with a full stop, and it makes sense. So that's how we introduce a sentence to a child. Once the child has done this, then the child will actually make this same sentence using the sentence box here. So we'll take the capital letter from the bottom here, and then we will form the sentence using our letters of the sentence box. So this is the. Now the interesting thing here is that after the child creates the first word and moves on to the second word, we have to tell the child that in a sentence between two words there is a space, which you can also show with your finger. You can also use something like an ice cream stick as an indicator that the child has to give this much space and then move on to making the second word. So this is how it'll look like once this is created using the sentence box. And likewise, you can go on and give them different sentences. If you notice here, all our sentences are color coded. So I will give you another example. Say the sun is hot. Now this is just easier for a child to work with if we have color coded it, because this means that these words belong to a particular sentence. But once the child is familiar with a few sentences, then we can increase the complexity level by not giving them color codes and just giving them a group of words. Also, we can introduce question sentences and sentences with end with the exclamation mark, and we can go on and on. What we can also do as a variation here is we can introduce silly sentences to children, and that is something which is really fun, and the children can get really creative by, for example, you can say that the fish is in the tree, and it still makes sense, but it's a silly or a funny sentence, and you can ask children to come up with their own sentences. I think it's important that here we also give some ideas or suggestions in terms of what, as viewers, you can use at home if you don't have the sentence box, which I assume that most homes will not have. One idea is to use the letters of the Scrabble. So if you have Scrabble at home, you can use those letters and children can form words and sentences. Another idea given by my daughter was that of cutting letters from newspaper, which I thought was really cool. So you could also do that. Of course, else you can always take a print and you can cut the letters and have them, keep the letters like in a box which has got some compartments like this. And this can be a fun way for them to do sentence building. So this is the end of the video, and please do share your comments, or if you have any other ideas, definitely it would be nice to share those ideas in the comments with us. And if you have liked this video, please do hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.